The impeachment trial of the Vice President has entered a critical stage as both prosecution and defense continue to clash over procedure, evidence, and the rules that would be important in shaping the case. But has the proceedings become too focused on legal technicalities at the expense of its constitutional purpose? Joining us tonight to help us make sense of everything is Attorney Jen Reyes, constitutional law professor and constitutional law book author. Attorney Jen, thank you for your time.
The pleasure is mine, Sir
Napapanood lang kita
Lord.
sa TV, Attorney Jen eh.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. So, una sa lahat, would you agree that the whole process, the past 2 weeks, have been rather over-judicialized?
Actually, I have a different take on that. During the first week, not over-judicialized because in my opinion, the rules of court which are applied suppletorily by the impeachment court, that is exigent. That is imperative in a sense that it helps the flow to be more organized or efficient. For me, it is actually now being over-politicized.
Baligtad.
Why?
Okay.
Especially yesterday and today, we witnessed that most of the delays came actually from the senator judges. Because I've observed that natanong na nung unang senator judge, uulitin na naman the exact same question by the following senator judge. They do not have restraints or which they should have, or hindi ba sila nakikinig na natanong na yon ng kapwa nila senador? Kailangan i-check na nila dun sa list nila at iba na lang ang itanong nila. Second, though they took an oath of political neutrality, I believe most will agree that truly some of the senator judges are manifesting their partiality or bias with respect to this impeachment trial. And they have been utilizing it, some of them, to advance their political agendas, for lack of a better term. So for me, contrary to what some might say, I am saying actually it is being over-politicized, and even some of the senator judges are being misinterpreted as to assisting the defense in the way they question the witnesses.
Hindi naman masyadong obvious, sabi ng iba daw. Sa kanilang mga pagtatanong at pagpapaliwanag at even sa tone of condescension to their fellow senator judges pangaraw eh. Pero Attorney Jen, yung procedure, they exist daw, yung mga rules of court, they exist to, ang nakasulat di ba sa Constitution, as practicable, as kung, of course, nasa Senate, sa presiding officer yan, para mag-decide kung, hanggang dito na lang, I will let it go. Pero, posible bang may paraan ba na magkita halfway yung dalawang bagay na yun?
The what?
Yung political, impeachment as political procedure, at the same time, a trial or a court legal process.
Oh, yes, definitely. It can be balanced, no? Just like what I mentioned, the technicalities of the rules of court, they can only be applied suppletorily, pero yung ating presiding officer and yung impeachment court, hindi rin sila dapat nako-control absolutely ng rules of court or procedural law in a sense that it already defeats the constitutional purpose of the impeachment. So kung yung technicality napapabagal yung daloy ng proseso or na-i-impede or na-obstruct yung aim or yung purpose, then they can even waive that.
At example, attorney, yung past 2 days, focus only on one witness. Ang nag-bog down ba dito ay yung procedure or yung politics?
Pareho. And of course, for me, maganda yon. Because in the presentation of evidence and in the conducting of direct examination or cross-examination of the witnesses, kailangan talagang mailahad yon sa mga tao. That's why helpful yung rules of court doon and yung Senate rules on impeachment. And of course, since it is a sui generis proceeding, we cannot deny that it is also quite political. So even the lawyers, if makikita nyo sa mga salita nila, they are also,
That's your opinion. Gusto ko,
According to me.
ganda na hirit. According to
According to me, nakikita natin na marunong din sila because alam nila na nanonood yung mga tao eh. So alam nila kung dapat tumimo din sa emosyon ng mga Pilipino yung sinasabi nila.
May observation na aware dyan ng prosecution, kaya minsan alam nila that hindi lang sa mga sa jury, which is senators, address yung sinasabi nila, kundi sa mas malaking audience out there. At the same time, may observation din na ang defense daw ay masyado nakatutok sa legal. Would you agree?
Yes. And to be fair, I've said this before, napakahirap din kasi ng responsibility ng defense, especially regarding this first article, or Article 4 rather, the alleged threats. How can you refute the fact that a video exists, that the said alleged threats were truly uttered by the Vice President? So, naiintindihan ko rin naman na yun na lang talaga actually yung pwede nilang ibangga, the technicalities, the typographic errors, the discrepancies on the dates. However, it's not working. It's not working. But then again, hindi rin naman nila kasalanan dahil nga napakahirap, lalo na sa aming mga abogado din, na ipagtanggol ang isang kliyente na siya mismo ang nag-provide ng evidence against himself or herself.
Malaking factor ba, Attorney, yung walang blanket denial?
Walang?
Yung walang denial so far.
Oh yes, yes. Because though the defense counsel, Attorney Vinluan, stated that in their answer, they specifically denied that VP Duterte contracted an assassin. However, in legal parlance, when you say specific denial, it's not enough na sabihin mo lang yung word na we are specifically denying. Kailangan nakalagay doon sa pleading mo or answer, we specifically deny this and ito ang mga dahilan kung bakit. Dahil, for example, hindi talaga ito nangyari. For example, ito ang ebidensya to justify the same. But in their answer, paragraph 3 and paragraph 197 that they cited, that is not a specific denial.
I see. Tapos, wala namang sinabing assassin, di ba? Sinabi gano'n. Tapos, hindi sinabing assassin. So ano to? Investment banker na rarakit lang para pumatay ng tao, gano'n? Or wala naman daw talaga mga dokumento na, wala namang magno-notarize na I hereby accept the services of ganyan, di ba? So,
Yeah.
mukhang ito, you let go at mukhang pupuntos dito sa article na to, at least, yung prosecution. Would you say?
Definitely, definitely. This is a strong article. That is why they chose this as their first argument, right? And that is an intelligent strategic move on the part of the prosecution.
Ano ang dating sa judge, halimbawa? Naalala ko nung corona impeachment na nag-withdraw, hindi ng witnesses, pero nang-withdraw ng impeachment articles itong prosecution. At nag-ballistic ang Miriam Defensor Santiago. Kasi parang, hindi ganito kasi pinag-aralan namin yan. Biglang, mukhang nagiging habit na yata rin ng prosecution at this point. Magkakasunod na witnesses ang biglang binawi nila.
Okay.
Ano ang dating nito sa kung ako ang huwes?
Well, if you are an intelligent huwes, makikita mo yung wisdom. Bakit nila winidraw na yung pagpapatawag kay Attorney Lopez and Captain Bello? Kasi napatunayan na nila eh. Na-establish na nila yung gusto nilang ma-establish dito sa Article 4, the alleged grave threats or inciting to sedition. So the testimony of Attorney Lopez and Miss Bello are only corroborative as to the context, as to the seriousness, napatunayan na ito ni Attorney Loto, ni Mr. Kalilong rather.
Ang hirit naman ng defense ay sino tong mga prosecutors na to para magsabi na napatunayan na nila. Opinion lang nila yon. Hindi sa pananaw or they're feeding words into the mouths of the senator judges. May ganun, medyo nag-back and forth kanina yun eh.
Yeah. Well,
umirit pa si Senator Cayetano na pinagbigyan ko lang kahapon kasi that's attorney Lorna Kapunan.
well, they have to accept that. That's part of the strategy. Then maybe they will also use that and then just, say that, bakit pinagbigyan nyo yung kabila? O di pagbigyan nyo din kami. Right? So that is part of the strategy of the lawyers. And that is acceptable.
So far, if you were to score Senator Cayetano as presiding officer, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what grade would you give?
Escudero, you mean?
Escudero pala,
Yes.
sorry.
A 1 to 10, I would give him an 8. An 8, yes.
Okay. Si Senate President Win as flower vase. Sabi, na-joke din talaga na, parang flower vase sa Senator Win. Dapat daw, nagsasalita naman siya every now and then. Okay, sa grave threats, maraming nagulat na hindi mo pala kailangang patunayan na yung simpleng pag-utter lang ng mga words na yun ay sapat na. Pero again, ang sukatan, dahil hindi naman ito criminal trial, kung mapapatunayan nila na kung ito ba ay aabot sa level na consider mong impeachable offense. Okay. Ngayon, in dropping the witnesses, mukhang confident na ang prosecution. Pero kung pupunta doon sa susunod na article, mga bank accounts ito, attorney, kung dito nga lang, specifically medyo quote-unquote sexy pa siya na issue kasi may video, may threats. Ito mukhang sa mga numero, mukhang marami raw mag-out-of-body experience dito, Attorney Jen.
Well, this next article, the alleged misuse of confidential funds, I believe this is also a strong argument by the prosecution because they have this initial findings na kung mapapatunayan, 'di ba, na hindi talaga sa mga totoong benepisyaryo at sa totoong or tamang paraan na what do you call this? Na gamit itong mga public funds na ito, even if they are confidential funds, then how can the defense refute that? So the defense must level up in a sense na dito sila maging very OC doon sa mga dokumento. Kasi labanan na to ng mga dokumento.
Yan ang kinakatakutan ng marami.
Yun na yun. Oo. Kasi dito sa video, wala eh. Wala silang dito, nitpick. Pero dun sa mga dokumento, yan, pakita nila yung galing nila sa pag-nitpick ng mga dokumento.
Maraming pumuri, Attorney Jen, sa mukhang nagbago ng strategy midway ang defense na hanapan nyo ng butas yung mga pinapakita ng prosecution as much as possible. No? Pero ito, Attorney Jen, may paraan ba na maipakita ito ng sabihin natin na masusustain pa rin yung interest? O nasa presiding officer ito?
The interest of the public?
Of the audience, Attorney.
Well, of course, sa prosecution, kailangan talaga nilang mag-exert ng efforts to keep the public interest dito sa impeachment trial na ito. No? Because the danger is that if the people will be bored, it will be advantageous to the defense. Kasi kahit maglatag ng ebidensya ang prosecution and hypothetically, sufficient naman talaga yung ebidensya. Kung hindi ito pinanood ng mga tao at mas gugustuhin pa ng mga kababayan natin na manood na lang sa TikTok or mag-fake news, then it will be utterly useless. But I commend Presiding Officer Cheese Escudero because now he is more, forward-thinking or initiating in presiding this impeachment trial.
If the framers of the 87 Constitution were watching some of them are watching, of course.
Yes.
They're still around, no? Okay. What would you think would surprise them most or disappoint them most about the whole proceedings? Tapos, may sub-question pa yon. Has this trial exposed weaknesses sa Constitution mismo or merely weaknesses in the people who are supposed to implement it?
If the 1987 framers are watching right now, they will definitely be disappointed with the current membership or composition of the Senate and the manner by which some senator judges are handling their duty as a senator judge. And of course, masyashock sila. Kasi syempre dun sa panahon nila, wala namang masyadong nakakulong na mga senador. Wala namang hinahabol ng batas na mga senador. Masya-shock talaga.
Siguro nung nag-uusap sila. Tol, paano halimbawa? Kunyari lang, 24 tayo. Framers to kunyari. May pari pa ron.
Yeah.
May nakakulong 3. Posible naman siguro mangyari yun. 2 nakakulong. Malabo mangyari yan. At yung wisdom, the same wisdom na masyadong parang masyadong binigyan ng credit, masyado ang siguro naman pag sila binigyan natin sa kapangyarihan na gumawa mag-craft ng sariling mga laws, okay na siguro yan. Kasi sigurado ako, boboto ng matitino at matatalino ang taong bayan.
Lo and behold.
Sila dapat multuhin ang tao ngayon.
Yes, exactly.
Bakit hindi ninyo nilinaw kasi?
Oo nga, no? And going back to your question na bakit hindi nila nilinaw, yes, the Constitution is far from perfect, right? Although the framers were learned and intellectuals or brilliant people, of course they're not wordsmiths, right? They cannot foresee any and all circumstances doon sa mga probisyon ng saligang batas. On the other hand, although beautiful naman ang ating Constitution, even if it is not perfect, yung mga tao rin na nag-i-implementa. Kasi yung mga ambiguity doon sa provision, sometimes nga, clear na nga yung provision ng saligang batas. Pero yung isang politiko, basta hindi in favor sa kanya, gagawan pa ng interpretasyon kahit kailangan naman verbal lehis apply in its ordinary sense. So it is prone to abuse. So may pagkukulang ang konstitusyon, may pagkukulang din yung mga tao na nag-i-implement nito.
Nako, alam mo, inisip ko parang pag tinanong pa kita, if you were given the opportunity to amend some parts of the Constitution, masasagot mo ba in a short moment?
Oh yes,
Sige nga.
definitely. Unang-una kong babaguhin, the judicial independence. Sana ay wag ng presidente ang nag-a-appoint ng mga miyembro ng hudikatura to absolutely insulate the judiciary from political influence. Pangalawa, yung mga two-thirds na yan ng mga members of
Linawin na
House
dapat.
or
Oo.
Senate, sabihin na nila explicitly kung all the members of the Senate who are actually functioning and within the coercive power of the House para wala ng gulo. And hindi sa Constitution ito, pero doon sa batas. Ako, para sa akin, kung ang isang public official ay na-convict by final judgment, dapat ay hindi siya qualified sa pardon ng presidente para hindi na siya makatakbong muli.
Tingnan nyo kasi ang nangyari. Attorney Jen, okay, sa mga gustong mag-review para sa bar, ang Facebook page po ni Attorney Jen will be a great help para matulungan niya kayo if you want to enter this noble profession called lawyering. Maraming salamat, Attorney Jen, at may kikwento ako sa iyo mamaya tungkol sa isang framer din. Oo. Alright.
Always a pleasure.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Jen
Always
Reyes.
welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.